Peru is a very beautiful country. The people there are friendly and they got lots of mouth-watering dishes and beautiful tourist sites. If you go to Peru, please do visit the Machu Picchu temple that was built by the great Incan Empire that had over 12 million subjects in the 16th century, and that temple still stands till today. Peru has over 8 wonderful beaches where you can relax with your family and loved ones. Bus travel in Peru is convenient and surprisingly comfortable. If you choose well, you could end up with reclining seats, snacks served on board, and blankets being offered to you because they are highly air-conditioned. There are over 3,000 varieties of potatoes in Peru, from wild potatoes to sweet potatoes to white potatoes, Irish potatoes, even black potatoes, and lots more. There is this wonderful, amazing tourist site called the Seven Head Palm Trees. There is a story attached to that as well. And there is another one called the Witch Park. Yes, you heard me right, the Witch Park. It was said that Peru had a lot of witches back in the days, and today I'll be telling you a story about one of those witches. But before I get into that story, if you love the true, strange, mysterious, and dark stories, well, you found the right channel. Welcome to the Dark Past, where I'll be bringing you 1 or 2 stories every week. But today, I'll be telling you 2 stories. So please do sit back, relax, and enjoy today's story. In 1753, during the colonial era, there lived this lady named Davespa Pavani, who migrated from Europe to Lima in Peru. Davespa was of Persian ancestry. Davespa would go into the woods, pick up plants, herbs, and other ingredients that she would form into this potion which uses to cure the sick at that time that medicine couldn't cure. If you step into Davespa's house, you will find vials sitting in different cabinets around the room, ornaments hanging from the ceiling, and all sorts of potions laying around which used to cure the sick at that time. Not long after then, Davespa became a subject of local gossip. People started spreading rumors around town that Davespa was a witch with magical powers, that Davespa had made a pact with the devil, that Davespa was a practitioner of the occult. But all what she was doing at that time was just to cure the sick people. Now, these rumors got to the ears of this feared Spanish Inquisition, and Davespa was arrested. Because back then, witches were haunted and killed. Now, Davespa was subjected to all forms of torture. She couldn't bear the pain no more. She had to confess that she was a witch, and she was sentenced to death. Davespa was taken to an empty piece of land, tied to a stake, and set up on fire. Davespa was dying. She was being burnt alive. But with her last breath, Davespa laid a curse on that land, and that curse still lingers on till date, till today. It still lingers on. Now, long after all this happened, a rich man came to town, bought that piece of land, built a house on it, and employed servants to help him around the house. This man was so cruel to his servants. He tormented them for his own pleasure. The servants couldn't take it no more. They were so angry and they hated this man, but they thought that how can they teach this man a lesson? They began to ploy a revenge. This fateful day came. The rich man was hosting his friends to a dinner party in his house. Now, these mistreated servants saw this as an opportunity to get back at their cruel master. They now mixed their drinks with a hallucinogenic plant just to embarrass the master and his guest. Now the party progressed on. These mistreated servants stood outside in anticipation, waiting to see the results of their deeds. They heard loud laughter, thinking to them that yes, their plan was going accordingly. And all of a sudden, those laughter turned into loud screams of pain and agony. The servants were scared. They were paralyzed at what was going on. This wasn't the plan they had. They wanted to make them scream in pain and agony. Suddenly, all the screams and the shouting stopped. They were so scared to go check on them and see what happened. But one of the servants summoned up courage, opened the door, and stepped in. And when he did, he was surprised at what he saw. To his surprise, the master and the guest were all dead. They had, with their bare hands, ripped themselves to shreds, to pieces. There was blood everywhere, from the ceiling to the walls to the floor. There were body parts everywhere. The whole furniture in the house were destroyed. There were heads here, legs there, limbs here, organs there, and here. Everywhere was a gruesome sight. They were so shocked. They themselves screamed and ran out of the house, ran into the streets. People saw them like, what's going on? What's going on? They couldn't see anything meaningful. All they were saying couldn't make no sense. There was nowhere in the dictionary. Nobody could understand what they were saying. Now those people went into the house and saw all this, and they were shocked as well. They were like, how did this happen? The servants couldn't make no sense. The people couldn't make no sense of what the servants were saying. But they couldn't accuse them of committing a crime because their clothes were clean, no blood stains on their clothes. So they knew they didn't do it. But how did the man and his girls died? So they took the servants to an asylum, and that's where they remained until they passed, and they never could explain what had happened in that house that night. That house was locked down and was abandoned for a long time, for almost a century, until a rich Japanese immigrant moved into the house with his wife and 3 kids. His name was Mr. Matsushida. Mr. Matsushida used the first floor for a store to support the family and the upper floor for his living quarters. One day, Mr. Matsushida went into town to run some errands, and whenever he does this, it takes a while before he gets back to the house. Now on his way back, that day he was he was done on time, whatever he was doing in town, and said to go back home. He was going back early than expected. On getting to his house, he realized his store was locked, which was unusual because he has expected his wife to be in the store attending to customers. So he went up the house. Walking up the stairs, he heard his wife moaning from the bedroom. And he was like, what's going on? He stepped into the room, and to his surprise, he saw his wife with another man on the bed. He walked out like nothing had happened, went to his store, picked up his Japanese sword, and went back up. He butchered his wife and her lover, cut them to pieces with his sword, then waited for his children to get back from school. The children stepped into the house, welcomed them, made them comfortable, then brought out his sword and butchered his 3 kids as well, chopped them to pieces. Then he took his own life with the same sword. People in the town knew that the Vespa's curse still lingers on that land, and that house was once more locked down and abandoned for a while. On several occasions, the priests have been called into the house to perform exorcisms, but they all failed. At one point in time, there was a priest that even tried to perform this exorcism in the house, and when he stepped into the house, he started screaming that he was hearing these voices of souls being tormented. As he was screaming and saying these words, he held onto his heart, and before he knew it, boom, slumped, and he died. They said he died of a heart attack. Ever since then, that house has been locked down. On several occasions, there have been attempts to destroy or demolish the house, but it all failed, because anytime they attempted to do it, something always comes up that stops it from happening. And they decided, okay, this house should just be here for like a tourist attraction for those people or people that love the paranormal. But I will advise you, If you visit Peru and you find yourself in Lima, do not go to that house. But if you decide to do, well, be my guest. That house is called the La Casa Matusida. Now, my next story is really creepy. Because when I heard of this story, I was like, wow, can this really be true? But I guess it is. But I want you to be the judge of that. Now, this is the story of a young girl named Maria Madamacha. Maria was said to be a tomboy. She loves to put on men's clothes, play with boys, and do things that boys would do, not a girl would do. On this fateful day, Maria's mom called her and sent her to the market to go buy oil and a cow heart so they could make what is called anti-kuchos. Anti-kuchos is shish kebab made from cow heart. Maria so much loved anti-kuchos so much, she was excited when her mom told her, go to the market, get me oil and the cow heart. Tonight we're having anti-kuchos for dinner. She took the money and went off. As on her way to the market, she came across her friends that were playing tops, which the game played with marbles. Maria decided to join them to play this game. And Maria isn't good at this game at all. She always loses. This games that boys play, not girls. But anyways, she wanted to play. And if you lose, or you keep losing at this game, you lose a piece of your marble to whoever wins. Maria lost all her marble, disappointed, and decided to use the money her mom has given her to go buy the oil and the cow hearts, believing that she might be able to win back her marbles. Maria lost the money as well, as fate will have it. She lost it as well. And Maria was confused and she didn't know what to do. She couldn't go home to tell her mom she used the money to play bets on tops. What should she do? Maria started there thinking and devised a means to get these cow hearts, which her mom had sent her to go get, and the oil. Maria now went to her grandmother's house, convinced her grandmother in a way to give her some oil, and stole her grandmother's knife. Maria then went to the cemetery, knowing fully well that a man was just buried some few days ago, I think a day before, in that cemetery. Maria went in there, dug up that man's corpse, and carved out his heart, wrapped it up real good, and took it home for her mother to make the anti-kuchos. Her mother, not sensing or not realizing the difference between the heart of a cow and that of a man, took it, went into the kitchen, and made the anti-kuchos. That night, when the whole family sat down at the dinner table to eat and dinner was served, Maria started complaining of stomach ache. She wouldn't eat the anti-kuchos because she knew very well what she had done. She said no, she wasn't going to eat because she had this pain in her stomach that was excruciating. Her mom said, okay, if you don't feel like eating, you can go to bed. I will take care of the dishes and clean up the table when we're all done. Maria left and went to bed. Dinner was over, everybody went to their separate rooms to sleep. That night, later, the depth of the night, Maria heard a sound. Someone was at the foot of her door, and she heard someone say, Maria, give me my heart back. She thought she was dreaming. She thought it was a nightmare. She woke up. She looked around. Said, no, I was dreaming. She went back to bed. When she closed her eyes, she heard the same words. Maria, give me my heart back. She knew this time around this wasn't a dream. She jumped out of bed. She was like, what's going on? She heard it again. Maria, give me back my heart. Maria ran to her closet, opened it, went in there, closed it, hid behind her clothes, thinking she was in a perfect hiding space. Not long, her door swung open. She didn't hear no footstep, but she heard the sound again. Maria, give me back my heart. Maria was, oh my God, what did I do? I'm in trouble. Not quite long, her closet door swung open, and standing right in front of Maria, she could recognize who was there. It was the man that she just carved at her heart. And he said, Maria, give me back my heart. And he grabbed her. Immediately she placed his hand on her. The grip was so tight, Maria let out a loud scream that woke up the whole house. Her parents jumped out of bed, ran to Maria's room, And immediately as they were stepping into Maria's room, they saw Maria with her hands wide spread apart. Her heart was being ripped out of her heart, of her body. At the same time, Maria fell to the floor, blood gushing out, spreading everywhere over the room, and with the heart hanging in the air, dust vanished. Maria's body was on the floor, lifeless without a heart. Maria died. The parents made some investigations and they realized that Maria had served them the heart of a dead man who had come back to claim back his heart, unfortunately taking Maria's heart. So folks, guys, the story for today. I hope you like the story. If you do, please don't forget to give it a like, share it, and please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'll be seeing you guys soon. Thank you.